dark episode.
Well, speaking about dark, I mean, I was terrified when I was a kid because it's like, oh, si no te portas bien,
Yeah.
vete al cuarto para que
Oh,
te vea
yeah.
el cucuy.
Kukui.
You
El
heard
cucuy.
that? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, in the dark. So definitely, I used to be terrified.
Right.
It took me actually a while to get over my fear of the dark.
Are you over your fear?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So my parents never really said that because they didn't. I don't know. They weren't like. I don't know. They just didn't say that. They didn't talk about the kukui. But because I was best friends with other Latinos whose parents all the time, so that's where I really got the fear from when I was little. It was like I would hear when I would spend the night at my boy's house, and then they would be like, "Hey man, you guys make sure you go to sleep." So whatever, same stories you guys heard.
Yeah.
And it was like, dang, I'd look into the closet, like, "Hey bro, should we close the door to the closet?" You know, because you just see this big pitch black hole, and you're like, "Yeah, someone's gonna jump out of there." Same thing. Sometimes I'd if we were sleeping on the floor because there was a lot of us, we'd put the blankets all the way down, hanging off the bed to cover like the empty black spaces.
Dang.
You know.
Yeah. No, I'm sitting here. I gotta make sure all the doors are closed.
Yeah.
Like that
To this
door,
day?
the closet, everything
this day?
gotta be shut.
To this day.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Okay.
I just sleep better, even though I gotta put a sleep mask. Sleeping, I can't see nothing.
Yeah, you're already in the dark, fool. You got to cover everything for
Yeah, no, I definitely don't do that anymore. But for sure, when I was younger, I was like,
I need doors to be open. I don't know, like at night.
he's like, I gotta run. If I gotta run, I don't want to have to waste time.
I
He's
honestly,
like, Jason is
that
going
is
to
true.
kill me if I have to waste time opening the door, right? Unlocking it, and then because inevitably, if you're running from a serial killer, the door is going to be locked.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
This guy probably doesn't have any handles.
I don't have any doors. The doors are off the hinges, you know? No, and honestly, other than the whole, Jason thing.
Yeah.
I think it's a safety thing for me. It's like I want to be able to react quick and have access to like the kids' room as fast as I can. Opening the door, that's what, half a second or two? Yes, if I'm still half asleep, I can't even I don't know where the handle's at.
Yeah.
So it's like I need to know.
Granted, if you're up for an emergency, you're going to be wide awake.
Yeah, but then I'm gonna be confused.
Yeah.
Like,
because that
what's
adrenaline
happening?
is going to hit you, and you're going to be like, whoa.
Yeah. But I mean,
I understand.
I'm a light sleeper. I wasn't a light sleeper when I was younger. This is good because I'm going to talk about my childhood right now. Is that there was a big earthquake that happened when we were young, and my parents left me in the house. And they all went inside because I couldn't wake up, and they all just like panic, and the rest of the brothers and sisters left, and I was just I was on the bunk bed, just asleep. And then they all came in, and I was like, "Why are the lights on?" And then everybody's in the living room like, "Oh, we just had an earthquake." I'm like, and nobody woke me up. Dude, I weighed like 60 pounds. Carry me.
You're like, you look so comfortable. You're like, I would have been real comfortable if the house would have collapsed.
Exactly.
Right,
Would never have woken up.
God.
Felt like he was getting cradled.
Jeez.
Bro would have
man.
went to sleep in his room and woke up in Jesus' arms.
God, that was crazy of us. And that was even crazier as I think about this sometimes is we used to play soccer a lot in the backyard. And we used to kick the ball over the fence into the freeway. And there's like this little island in the middle of the freeway. And we used to run down there to get the ball. Yeah.
Dang.
Like, oh, wait for the
That's
cars,
wild,
guys.
bro.
Oh,
Right.
Run, get the ball, come back. Wait, stop.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were wild like that. The amounts of windows that we broke.
Yeah.
Bones. Well, not me, but like other people. Yeah. My brother lit a bush on fire. Some of our friends lit a whole apartment on fire that was being rebuilt.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was intense, dude.
Me and my brother actually have a story with that. My dad used to have a bunch of gas tanks in the back. And me and my brother decided, let's light something up on fire. So what we did we did trails of gasoline, right? Designs and stuff. And we thought it was the coolest thing. And we just kept lighting and we're like, we want bigger, something bigger.
Always.
Mm-hmm. So what we did was we filled up cans of gasoline. Bro, I don't know why my brother thought it was a cool thing to do. We did a trail, lit it. The can just lit up. So we're like, oh, this sucks. He comes and just kicks it, right? Boom. I'm kicking it back to him, going back and forth. Whatever happened, we got a bat, we smash it, and that junk just went straight to the fence. And that fence lit up. Like, lit up. We're like, oh, we're about to burn the house down. Dude, it was bad. And actually, it did not burn the fence, surprisingly. I don't know if it was just maybe like a wet day or something, but it was just like a big old flame and then just went down. And I was like, dude, that would have been
still
bad.
For those 10 minutes where you thought it was all gonna go down. You're like, my dad's gonna kill
Oh, yeah.
My life is over.
Yeah.
My dad was our Kukui for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. He would always tell us, he's like, "Quieren dormir calentitos?"
Yeah.
Bro, that junk right there, I ain't gonna lie, that was the best sleep I ever had in my life.
Wasn't that the best thing when you're crying?
Yeah. Yep.
But
Crying
you're
so-
asleep.
It's a cold night.
Cool. I loved
Bro.
it.
And he would wait until we get out of the shower, though. He wouldn't forget. He would not forget.
Right.
He was like,
Todos pelados.
all right. Yep. And he would wait till we get out. He's like, no, don't get changed. Don't get changed. Turn around. Nice and wet.
Oh, yeah.
It was
For
just
sure.
like, yeah. Me and my brother used to actually like compare our marks, our battle wounds.
Damn.
Yep. But that was the best sleep I ever had.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that was the best thing my dad could have done to us, anyways, man. We're boys. He kept us in line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was good.
Did you burn anything else after that?
Heck no, dude. No way, dude. After that,
It's
we're
like not at our house. But what is it with Boys in Fire? I don't know if y'all were
I
obsessed
was
with
just
it, but
about to-
I was like, we're so, even to like this days, there's still sometimes I'm like, bro, I want to build a huge fire. And I'm like, why is that still in
Yeah.
me? Like,
But
why?
I think when we were younger, we didn't know that how it actually worked, right? So like if you lit a fire like a piece
That's
of paper and
right.
you just throw it somewhere, it can catch the whole whatever
Yeah,
area
yeah.
on fire, but you don't think like that.
Very true.
Like, oh, it's just fire. Let's just have fun. Just throw it
Yeah.
in the air. And it's like, oh, that could have been like a little puddle of gas. And
Well, funny
would've been.
enough, dude. Like we never grew out of that because even my dad, when we got old enough, bro. So my cousin showed us how to make like our own M80s, right? So we would go to Morgan Hill. My dad. Sorry, Dad, gonna rat you out, bro.
Yeah, go piss off the Morgan Hill people.
No, we would go there because you know how they would sell fireworks there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And we would go there, and I don't think they even sell them here anymore, but the piccolo peas, and we would get those, and I'm not gonna say how, but we would get those, and we would literally take them apart and make our own M80s, dude, with my dad. We'd literally go gather the things we needed, and my dad would be in the garage hammering away, dude. Bro, we did that. I was like, dude, the last time we did that, I was probably like, I don't know,
Yo.
like maybe like 18, 19. Oh, no.
Damn.
Elena was born, so I was like maybe like 20, 21. Damn.
damn.
Yep. And
love
those
it.
three out there, bro, just.
A whole lab in the garage. Just
Yep.
I mean, it could have been worse. It could have been meth, right?
Oh, wow.
I love bonfires. I love going to the beach and having a bonfire. And one year, we didn't buy that much wood, and I was like telling the boys and some of my friends that were there, I was like, "Yo, let's like get some wood from around the area." And I found this tree stump, and tell me why your boy decided to roll it all the way to our bonfire
God.
ring and just lighter fluid all over the thing, and I lit an entire tree stump. And like somebody came and they were like, yeah, you can't have a fire that big on the beach. it was like wait, like it was like the flame was above you even if you were standing. It was like, so because we stacked like a bunch of wood that on top of the it was crazy.
Nice.
Yeah, and it was a huge fire, and we were like, "Oh yeah, fire!" Like cavemen, you know, like it was our first time seeing it.
Well, where were you 3 years ago during the Northern California fires? 'Cause I'm sure the cops want to ask you some questions.
we were on the beach, bro.
Okay, all right, yeah, the beach.
Let's not have Mar have another baby so he doesn't have a gender reveal.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And then I think a good memory of mine was I was part of a bicycle crew, and then we used to go around and borrow the tire caps from cars because you know there's certain cars that had cool ones.
Yeah.
We always looked for the Cobras because they had Cobra caps, and that was the
Yeah.
thing back then. And we was like, dude, when you find a Cobra car, stop what you're doing and just take those caps and take it, borrow them.
Not stop what you're doing. Ring your little bell
Yes,
on your bike.
and then everybody,
Ding, ding, ding.
yes.
That's hilarious,
So-
bro.
How about we go?
Damn, bro.
How about the ding dong ditching? Let's
Oh
go to
yeah.
that.
yeah, that was the best.
That was the
That
biggest
was
thing.
awesome.
That was the best.
That was
Oh
awesome.
yeah, something I still want to do it.
Did you ever get caught?
No, never,
Nah.
never.
Too fast back then.
Oh yeah,
You could actually
That
run.
was,
Let's go do it now.
My knee. My hammy.
Mario would just stay there and they'll be like, "So have you? Can I tell you about my friend Jesus Christ?" God.
Right. There's these really bad kids in this neighborhood. And I've been trying to save them.
Now everybody got cameras now.
Yeah, you
So
can't do that.
that's not
That's
even
true.
fun.
All that stuff you can't even do anymore, man.
No.
I remember my dad actually chasing down the people
No way.
who would ding dong ditch because we lived in apartments, and like in apartments you kind of know everyone there, you know who the bad kids are,
Yeah.
right? They're always just chilling outside, parking lot, whatever, right? So then like sometimes I would kick it with them, so that's why they knew to come over to my house and just ding dong ditch. But my dad would actually in his chanclas and just a white beater and his shorts just come out, and you would find them like in the laundry room.
And do what? Just yell
Just
at them?
nothing, just yell at them. Like, I know what you're doing. I'm gonna tell the office. All
Oh
this
my
and that, and
God.
they would just run.
Wow.
But, I mean, they never did it after, but
That would have been hilarious. I was being chased by your dad, dude.
In chanclas, no
In
less.
chanclas.
In his his Air Jordan Huaraches.
Air Huaraches.
Hecho in Mexico. You guys ever
stole them
play
all.
arcades?
Street Fighter, maybe. That was the
Yeah.
only game I
Nickel
would play
City.
there.
Nickel City.
Nickel City. I never went to Nickel City. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a junk. We
Yeah.
actually were talking about that the other day, man. That junk was
Still
lit.
there?
No, we're out of business. No.
They don't even make
only a
nickels
nickel.
anymore.
Yeah, exactly. In this economy,
Yeah, that's true.
it'd be like quarters now.
Yeah,
Right.
Dollar
Oh,
City.
definitely.
Oh, man.
Or like 5 nickels, right? That's how they
So
get you.
Nickel
They'd be like,
City.
it's Nickel City, but it's 5 nickels per play.
God.
That's
Yeah, I
how
remember
they,
used to be in there for hours with
Oh, yeah.
just $5
no
bags
question.
of nickels,
yeah.
you know, and that was lit. That junk was sick.
We got really smart with it. Me and my boys, because we played a lot, and I was addicted to like Street Fighter and mostly that one. I mean, your boy was really addicted. I started hammering out nickels and just to make them the size of a quarter, and it would work. I would go to the arcade machine. put
Man,
it-
you were committed. Doug.
Damn.
I would hammer out the edges of the nickel to flatten it out till it was about the size of a quarter, and just put it in the machine. And there you
That's
go.
hilarious.
So I grab all my parents' spare nickels until they ran out of nickels, and I started stealing church money to play.
Oh,
All right, let's stop there. Let's not go forward there.
Nah, I'm good with it. Bro. I was a kid. I was a kid.
the church ain't even there no more. It's like all the damn nickels.
Could have paid their light bill that month.
Yeah,
Oh,
I remember praying and telling God I was going to pay him back before
All right.
taking a 20 or a 40.
Jeez. I hope you kept your word. So,
Oh, I've been paying for the rest of my life.
yeah, there you go.
Apparently, you can't stop giving.
Absolutely. Those are some
Which is
funny
good.
memories we had, huh? Sometimes I look back, I'm like, damn, my kid's life is a little boring, yo.
Right.
It's like,
In
man, the
comparison?
things we used to do back
Yeah.
then.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have crazy memories like that.
Oh.
I can say I was, a good kid, but because all I wanted to do was just play soccer.
Yeah.
So all I had was just my soccer ball. I would get home from school and then kick it with the kids that are outside.
Yeah.
And then my parents had to, scream at me to come eat a plato de frijoles and then go back out there and boom, start shooting the ball. That was it.
And then you get a stomachache
That's all I
after.
did.
It's like,
Exactly.
oh, I just ate. Why did my stomach hurt?
So you didn't do any things like that, but did you do things that may like athletic things or things that could be kind of on the sports side, like riding bikes, going mountain bike riding, and where you something crazy happened?
Well, the first time I actually
Fishing.
learned how to ride a bike, and it pretty tells a lot from me because I'm a very competitive guy. We were bike racing outside in the apartments, and everybody knew how to ride a bike. I still didn't know how to ride a bike, and we were taking, it was like a rally, right? Somebody would go to the corner, come all the way back, and then boom, next person would hop on, get on the bike, go around the corner, come back. So I was the last one.
Always the last one, right?
And the last one to go in the rally, and I still didn't know how to ride the bike. But just because the person got a head start from me, I'm like, no, I gotta catch up, you know. And then I just got on that mug, and then just started going, you know, a little crazy, swerving, and then finally I got the hang of it. And then I made it around the corner, and on the way back, I actually passed the guy, but I didn't know how to stop. And luckily, my friend's dad was out there. I'm like, I can't stop. So he had to like kind of throw himself at me and grab me.
Yeah.
The bike just landed on the side over there. But, you know, I won the race,
You won.
baby. I
There
won.
you go.
And that's how I learned how to ride a bike.
Wow.
It's competition, just
I
being,
wonder how
being
you
out there, man.
How did
Learn
you
how to
guys-
drive a car.
How did you?
Same way? The same way?
In an
out of
empty
the
parking lot, hopefully.
Yeah. Jump out of the car because you couldn't stop. I don't know. What's your guys' best childhood memory, though? Something that just like pops in the top of your head. You're like, oh, Heda has one already.
I got two. First one is, well, I think a lot of millennials, their first time going to the movies was to watch Titanic. Was that your first movie?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. I know a lot of people that was their first movie in the theaters. So that was my first movie, and then we watched it, right? It was dope. It was cool. And then we come back home. In the apartments, there is a two levels, right? You got the first level and then up here, right? And on the top level, there was a fence, and somebody had like grabbed it and just pulled it apart. So you can actually put your whole head and body through it, you know, like sometimes, I mean, when you were younger, did you used to put your head through like the fences right there? And
Got it
then,
stuck one
and then
time.
got it stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did it one time. My dad helped
Right.
me. Yeah.
So we would do that, right? But it was so far apart that we'd put our whole body, but it was on the second level, you know? So then we would just remember the scene from Titanic when, you know, he's just holding back like that. So we were on the second level, right? And then I would go all the way across. And then like, if I let go, like I'm falling all the way straight down. And one time I let go.
Rose, don't let go. I won't let go, Jack.
Don't let go, Jack. And then I let go, and luckily, like I landed on my 2 feet. But as soon as I landed, like I just fell straight to the floor. And then my cousin was right there, right in front of me, and he's so surprised. He just looks at me and like just surprised and scared, like what the heck just happened, you know? And then I'm over here shouting at him like, call my mom, and he's just looking at me like so freaked out. And then he finally, you know, books it, goes inside the house and calls my mom, and then, you know, they have to take me to the hospital, get an x-ray on my legs and everything.
Dang.
And, you know, luckily, thank God, my legs were fine. But
Are they,
to
though?
this day, like
To this day,
no.
are they, though? I mean,
To this day,
No, something
when
like
I've been
that.
running a lot or
Yeah.
anything, my knees start acting up. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, it's
That would be massive
because I let go.
yeah. You guys have any memorable memories?
I guess my favorite is actually having dinner with my family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We would always wait until my dad got home, and then we would always have dinner together. So, I mean, I guess maybe then I didn't appreciate it, you know, but now definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing when we would go fishing. My dad he'd get out late, but he would always make the effort to take us out there, you know, and we'd go out fishing. We would go to Santa Cruz Pier and be out there. My mom and my sister would be in the van, you know, and my dad had this portable TV for them, and they'd just be sitting there watching novelas or whatever. And me, my brother, and my dad be out there fishing,
That's
you know.
dope.
And even now, like, man, we go out there and I'm like, man, this brings back like when I was like 5, bro. Like I could think back. We'd be out there and I'd be eating seeds and cracking Coke, you know, and just fishing out there and just talking to my dad, my brother, and just making memories, you know. Now we went out there not so long ago, and I was like, dang, like it just felt like a kid again, you know.
Yeah.
So those moments like that, you know, are great
That's
childhood
dope,
memories.
man.
Yeah,
Did you ever teach your kid how to fish?
she's gone out. Yeah, she's actually gone out. But I think it's just kind of like one of those things where girls kind of really don't really enjoy it.
Yeah.
So we'd be like, come on. So she would be out there for a few hours, you know. And then she's like, all right, I'm tired now.
Because they don't understand peace and quiet.
Yeah. Oh man. Yes.
That took a hard laugh.
I saw the opening, man. I had to take it. I had to.
I mean, realistically, that's why a lot of dudes go out there, right?
Alone with my other homies.
Oh man. You know what, man? A lot of my memories are like with my dad, man. All of them are really like Saturday morning, Sunday morning yard sales with my dad every morning. I still get that like reminiscent of like the chocolate donut and then strawberry Nesquik.
Nice.
That's my breakfast.
Yeah.
And then we used to just go down like Campbell, Saratoga, like even like sometimes like Menlo Park area just for yard sales, estate sales. My dad was huge. My dad was also a big fisher. He's still a big fisher to this day. He fishes a lot out like in the ocean. So he's like a deep sea fisher.
Deep sea fishing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I used to go fishing with him. Wasn't good. Still not good. So
Do you enjoy it though?
I enjoy the peace and quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I haven't gone in years, bro.
Sure.
Years. But he invites me a couple of times, but I'm like, dog, I'm not going in the ocean.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that. This dude's scared of the
Yeah, I was like, I'm not. The last time I said yeah to him, he's like, oh, yeah, I'll get your ticket. And I was like, oh, yeah, just send me the info. And then I was like, oh, yeah, it's here, Santa Cruz deep sea fishing. I was like, nah, I'm out.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. But I think thinking about it now,
we
like,
can fish from land into a lake. I'm good.
Yeah.
but actually, it's so funny because right now thinking about it, I think back to maybe I should just do it.
Yeah,
Because that's going to be the memory that I'm going to have with my dad.
Exactly.
And it's like you just said about like you didn't probably like take for granted the family dinners or something like that, or you took it for granted. And I think I'm doing that with this fishing thing. I think I'm just going to go with him one time. Terrified, but I'll do it just so I can do it. But
Have you guys gone fishing?
Yes, the short answer is yes. Not in very, very long time. But the last time I fished, it was in Lake Havasu, Arizona, with my uncle Claude when he was still alive. Actually caught like a 4-pound, 3-pound bass that day, but because it was the sport fish, I had to throw it back in.
Oh, yeah, I don't do that.
My childhood memory, what I do remember the most is just waking up early on Sundays and watching soccer games. That's how me and my dad bonded. Up to this day too. Sometimes I hit him up and I'm like, "Hey, Mexico's gonna play," or Chivas, because he loves Chivas, is gonna play. Like, come over, I'll come over, and then sometimes we're watching the game. Other times we're just talking, chopping it up. But yeah, that's what I remember. Just growing up, chilling in bed next to him, watching the Chivas games. I grew up watching the Chivas games, but I didn't grow up to be a Chivas fan.
unfortunately,
I went from Chivas to America. I was in an America stage for a couple of years.
oh my god!
And then they would just make me cry. I remember like when they would lose, I would cry, especially because like my uncles, they would like clown on me. Like nobody in the family was an America fan. So I was a little kid over here and like America lost 3-0 and right. So then and then I had an uncle who was a Pumas fan, and then he started buying me jerseys and telling me like, oh, come watch a game with me. So then that's how I came to be a Pumas fan. But yeah, like I just think about those days like, man, those are chill days, just watching a game with your pops and just football. That was it.
Yeah.
For me, I liked watching Saturday morning cartoons, Voltron, Thundercats, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we would just watch them. Or sometimes my dad to this day still loves watching the old school Looney Tunes, just the regular Bugs Bunny, like, you know what I mean? Exactly. He just loves that. He still, to this day, he'll still watch them. And that was one of the things I liked on Saturday mornings. And we would have coffee together. That was way too sweet, but literally.
Is he still drinking sweet?
He does. He likes his coffee very sweet.
That is awake a lot. Yes.
Yeah. Any childhood crushes, y'all, that you remember?
Ooh.
Yeah, I know one. I'm not gonna say her name though because I follow her on Instagram.
Whoa.
I'm just talking about it because we were the same age. You were in elementary school together.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say that. It's just weird. You know what I mean?
Okay. But yeah, I had a childhood crush too. Aside from the teacher, I was like in 4th, 5th grade, but like in 3rd grade,
What has he had on the news?
Or his teacher.
So yeah, my first, childhood crush. I remember she even gave me like a picture of the, when during school, during picture day at school. She bought one, gave me the big one and everything. I had it, had it under my desk right there, just take it out and be like, oh. That's my crush.
Wow.
Right.
You
And
still have it? I'm
then,
just
and
kidding.
then, summer happens and then, they meet friends, whatever. And then we come back and then she asked for the picture. I'm like, what? Like, you want the picture? Like, last year, So I gave her the picture. And then later after lunch, I found out that she gave it to another dude.
Oh my God.
Dang.
How'd you feel?
And that was the end of
my
your
first-
crush.
Yeah. That was my first heartbreak.
Damn.
I asked for the ring back. I gave her that little quarter 25-cent ring after TK Noodle.
I do have a story once. This is not about a crush, but 4th grade or 5th grade, I actually got beat down by a girl and embarrassed.
Dang.
She was tough, bro.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that what opened up the door to the kink that you have?
Finish.
Yeah, no. So I mean, it's a quick story. It's just I remember wanting the ball. We were playing, and she just grabbed me, tripped me. I fell to the floor, and she slammed a ball on me, and all the kids were laughing. And I'm just like, bro. And I just didn't have it in me to do anything else, and I kind of walked away from that. And I was like, all right, I just got my butt handed to me.
You got home like, Mom, can you switch schools?
Yeah, literally.
Damn.
I'm on the other side of the coin.
Yeah.
I was waiting for this one.
I don't condone violence,
No,
but I mean, we grew up on WWE. We grew up wrestling,
I'm still there.
right? We knew all those tricks.
Yep.
Every time we were in a pool, we tried them all.
Oh yeah,
Right?
RKO,
for sure.
rock bottom.
That's probably the first one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm gonna tell you the first one right now.
Oh.
2nd grade, right? 2nd or 3rd grade. I came out of. I had gone to lunch late, and all my friends had left, and then there was these girls. They were just kind of being annoying. That's what I remember. That they were being annoying. The girls, right? And then I left, went to the playground. I was chilling there. I was with my friends, and then they were still following me around. Like I don't remember. I forgot what they were saying, but they were still following me around. God. Like I even went like far into the grass field that was there, and they still followed me.
Wow.
So then while we were all the way out there, I hit her with the Stone Cold Stunner.
I was waiting for it.
Like,
That's the funniest move because you have to kick their stomach so they can bend over and just like hook your arm around their neck.
And oh man,
that is the funniest thing ever.
Hit the Stone Cold Stunner, landed it pretty good.
Did you at least pin her? Who counted to 3?
And then just left, ran, and then after like I got suspended for a week.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, my parents whipped me, and
oh yeah,
like that day that I got suspended, I'm like, this is the worst day of my life. my parents were scared because they were like, oh, it's gonna go on the record and stuff. But I was a good kid. Like growing up, like I never got into trouble. I was always into my education.
Yeah.
And for them to hear like that's gonna go on my record, like they were tripping out.
His life's over.
Oh yeah, especially
Think
Latino parents. They probably thought you're literally like it's over. It's on his record now.
He already got 2 strikes.
Yeah. Strike number 1, born Latino.
For real. But I mean, if I would have, been more outspoken about what happened, I could have got other people suspended too. Because, like later she told her brother, and then the dude came and speared me.
Damn.
So then like we just went back at it with different wrestling moves.
Freaking Royal Rumble.
What, bro? Just,
Did you do the 619?
I'm ending this with the tombstone.
the pedigree.
The pedigree, that's it, dude.
There you go.
God, now I want to do that to my kids. They're too young though.
That's why I was like, God, please just give me boys, like please, because I just want to be as rough as possible with these dudes, and they did, and we had such a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, I used to punch him in the gut.
Oh yeah.
Happy birthday,
Yeah.
say.
No, I made my boys cry often.
Damn.
Like legit. You can ask them. Yeah. That's why they're good now.
They are good. Yeah, they're very good kids. Now
That's
I know
what
why.
shaped them.
Yeah, that's what shaped them, man. I mean, weren't we all raised like that, kind of, with like,
Yeah.
Amanadura?
My parents, both of our parents. Yeah. My mom would give it to us, and then my dad would give it to us when he got home.
Right.
Yeah.
My parents were really, really strict with us.
Yeah.
Really strict. So that actually helped. I mean, we would still act up, but imagine if my parents didn't, then who knows that I'd still be here.
Yeah.
At the very least, you knew your parents weren't going to be okay with what you were doing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So I think they're doing
like,
it
even
for-
if you knew, all right, I'm taking the risk, I'm probably going to get beat once I get caught.
Yeah.
And you did. And
Crazy
I did.
enough, I think the last time I actually got hit was 10 years old. And then my dad started making us sit on the wall. So he would make us have an invisible chair. Right?
Oh, wall squats.
Dude, I
Yeah.
would be like, just hit me. Just
Yeah.
hit me.
Right.
Dang.
Dude, that was the worst. Like, it got to the point where me and my brother would have to crawl away. We could not stand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we obviously would learn for a moment,
course.
and then
For sure.
You go back
Yeah.
to that. But
Yeah.
once you get
That was-
older,
that
you
was just our
realize.
way. Right.
yeah. But I mean, now looking back, I'm like,
Yeah.
dang, we were good kids, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like, my parents would get a lot of props, and I didn't know what that was. But I got my
Yeah.
kid, and why do you think she's so straight?
Yeah. But I think it shapes us when we get older to like be like, oh, this is like we have to be respectful to everybody, our elders
Yeah.
especially, So
For sure.
because that's how we were raised, getting spanked, and you know what I mean. Like if it's strict, dude, my dad was strict to the point where like, hey dad, I'm gonna go out. It's 8:00. All right, be back by 8:30. I'm like, what am I gonna do for 30 minutes, dude? I'll just stay home. But he knew where I was gonna go do. And this was later in my teen years. That's why I used to sneak out a lot. And then his white van will be waiting for me outside. And I used to jump in and we out. You know what I mean? But looking back now, I'm like, okay, we did a lot of stupid stuff
Yeah.
that we probably shouldn't have done. So definitely looking out for us. My mom was the one that used to spank all of us. My dad never, maybe once or twice, did he like lay hands on me. He was more of a like, let me talk to you and tell you why you can't do this.
That was a reverse for me for sure. My mom she rarely did it, but every once in a while.
Yeah.
One time I tricked her. I got home early from church because I already knew. She's like, yeah, it's going to go down when you get home. And I was like, all right, let me go home early. So I went home with my brother and your boy went into the bathroom and I used like 2 toilet paper rolls worth of just paper, just wrapping it around my waist. And then I put my underwear over it. And then I put my jeans on. And my mom's like, she got home. She just has the belt and she's like, go in the room. And I was like, all right. And at first hit, I felt nothing. But your boy was like, oh! And my brother Michael knew this, my older brother. He knew the whole time. So he starts laughing and she's looking at him. She's like, the heck? Hits me again. And I'm making like even louder noise. And now my brother Michael's like dying laughing. And she's like, why are you laughing? My mom's mad. So she lets the belt go this time because, she had it folded in half. And this time she lets it go. And now she's more mad because I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if she can tell at that point that I'm just faking it, not in real pain.
Yeah.
And she just, and the last one, it didn't hurt except that because she let the belt go, it wrapped around the part where that really wasn't covered. And so that part, when it wrapped around, I was like, oh, and I felt that one more. It wasn't super painful, but I definitely felt that one. And then, I was pretending that I was in a bunch of pain, and my brother Michael just literally fell on the floor laughing. And then so my mom was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Mom, he's pretending."
She whooped you more because you wasted toilet
actually
paper.
Didn't. She just let it go. She was like,
my mom would have whooped me for wasting toilet paper. Dog.
"Yeah, I know, right?"
What happened?
Funny enough, me and my
Double play.
brother both got a beam from my mom, right?
Yeah,
She came in, she whooped us both. Me and my brother always got hit together.
yeah.
I don't know. They just figured in pairs, bro. That was the
He's
thing.
like, "What did I do? I wasn't even there."
Well, my mom, she comes in, she hits us, she beats us. We were faking, we were crying, crying. She closed the door. And then me and my brother turn and look at each other. Did it hurt? He goes, no. Mom, did it hurt? I'm like, no. No joke. My mom, boom, kicks the door in. Oh, no? Oh. Boom. I was like, oh. And then that hurt, dude.
Yeah. She's
Yeah. I knew I shouldn't have hit him with my left hand.
Jeez, man.
Dang, you all were just bad kids.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
for sure, bro.
yeah.
But it was fun. I wouldn't trade it. I'd do it all over.
Yeah, same. I do it all over again, dude.
For
Like
sure.
my mom would, she would handle it to us, bro. So, but I do it all over again. Now we make fun of my mom. We're like, man, you used to freaking just jack us up, you know? And I'm sure, that like that hurts her too. But we're like, dude, we're good now, Like we always tell her, like, dude, we wouldn't be who we are now,
Exactly.
And so,
The funny thing for my mom is that she gave her life to Jesus, obviously, after she did all those beatings. She denies it to this day. She never hit us. I'm like, Mom, let me show you the scars. What are you talking about? She denies it to this day.
bro,
You're like, Mom, Jesus don't like liars.
Bro.
My brother has a scar on his eyebrow because she threw, what are those rulers with the half circle? What are they called?
Protractor?
A protractor. Threw it at him, dude, and just
Whoa.
cut his eyebrow. And then she denies that. And I'm like, it's right there, dude.
Like, y'all were just sensitive.
Nah.
You hear their fight with your siblings?
Oh,
My brother knocked me out once.
Yeah.
He hit me in the back of the head,
Dang.
but he didn't know what that would do. I'm like blacked out for a few seconds. I was like, "Yo, what happened?"
Yeah.
And that's why I'm the way I am.
Yeah.
Black out every fight.
Jay, you?
yeah, me and my brother. We only actually threw hands once.
Yeah.
And I decked him, he decked me, and then
Yeah.
that was it. And then my poor sister, man, she one day, I don't know why she was mad, and me and her were arguing. We never really fought,
Yeah.
and that's why it's so there, man. It sucks, man. 'Cause my sister was so innocent, bro. And one day it's just us three at home. So of course, when my parents are out, we're all just saying whatever, cussing at each other, whatever.
Yeah.
And then one day I tell her, I was like, yeah, I was telling her, he's a mother effer. And she's like, is he? I'm like, yeah. She's like, say it again. And I said it again. She slapped me. And my reaction was to slap her back. She got a black eye.
Dude.
Dang.
But it was it was just a reaction.
Yeah.
And that was the only time I ever.
That's hilarious. Because I would have done the same thing if I had a sister.
Said the
bro.
exact same time. Cut that. No, not cut it, but make a clip of that. We said the same time. That's hilarious. For me, it was a younger brother, bro. Sorry. My younger brother.
Go for it, brother.
We used to cover his mouth because, dude, my mom's coming. Shut up, dude. Shut up. Say nothing. He's like, Mom.
Or tickle him, try to tickle him.
Dude, shut up. My mom's coming. My mom's coming. Every single time.
Bro,
dude.
my brother would do it, and I would cry louder.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, I had my younger brother George give me away so many times.
Damn.
But I was the one who taught him how to flip people off. So the time I taught him, I kind of propped his finger up, and this is before he knew anything. And I'm like, look, hold your finger like this, put these down, and I'm
my
like,
God.
and just hold it. And I go, now go show mom. So it's exactly what he did. He walked right into the kitchen. He's like, look, mom, and I just heard pop.
Oh,
Bro got popped. He starts crying, and then I heard him say, Mario told me to do it.
Man.
So I got.
Before she went in there, you went
my
to the
mom.
bathroom. You wrapped toilet paper. You're like, let me prep myself.
There wasn't enough time for that, brother. Jesus was coming. And I almost met the Lord that day.
Dude.
Yeah, mom was not happy.
I think the last time I ever disrespected my mom, like to the point where she would hit me, was I had said the H word to her. And I still feel that slap on my face to this day. It was like the hardest slap. Never have I been hit like that. Ever since then, I was like, mande usted. Ever since then. That was the last time I ever said anything back to my mom. I was like maybe 11. Literally.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
don't know.
What came across your mind to even say it?
Because she was being mean.
Sometimes you just got to let them know
I was a kid.
before they let you know.
I was mad. She didn't let me go out. My friends were all outside.
Yeah.
And then she took TV away from me. And then, me and my brother were fighting. And then, it was just a whole mix of emotions.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing that comes to your mind. I'm like, I really didn't mean it. I didn't really know what that was or what it feels to feel that way. But last time I ever said anything like that to my mom, to this day, she's an angel.
First time I ever disrespected my mom that I remember is I was like I was kindergarten. First time, it was like the beginning of school, and I learned how to snap. But when you tell somebody, "Hey,"
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Well,
Whew.
I would.
That one brought back memories, bro. I was like,
well, funny enough that I wasn't old enough to like get myself cereal, right? So when my sister and my brother would have to do it, so they would tell them, "Hey, go do it," and they would do it. And I'm all like this, right? And they would get mad.
Yeah.
They're like, "You watch." Well, one day it was a habit, and they would always snitch on me, but I wouldn't get in trouble. I did the wrong timing, man. My mom's asking, we're all at dinner, right? My mom's like, "You want seconds?" I'm like, "Yeah." And she goes, "Okay." And I'm all, "Pero así." And my dad, his face, he just turned and looked at me. He goes, "What'd you say?"
yeah.
And I'm like, "I don't know." I don't know what I said. And Robert's like, "No, he knows. I was like, I don't know. Trying to be all innocent.
Right.
That was the last time I ever did that.
Dang.
Yeah.
You would just see things in the novelas or movies or
Yeah.
wrestling, because WWE, it was wild back then. All the stuff they allowed in TV, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be
That's
canceled
true.
Oh yeah.
real quick.
It's hilarious though.
now.
Bring it back.
It was
I'm
the
just kidding.
best. Those were the golden days.
Yeah.
But
They
the
were.
only time I would get in fights with my sister was just wrestling moves. I would pull all the wrestling moves on her.
Damn,
We would
dude, you were meant to be a wrestler.
I was meant to be a wrestler.
Come on, man. It's not too late. Let's go train.
And that's all she remembers, Hit her with the John Cena move.
Bro.
Damn, the F. What is
Me
it?
and
The
my
F5.
brothers went
The
at
F5.
it. Like,
Yeah.
we're
Both of
talking.
them?
Yeah. I've like damaged like hospital visits.
Oh,
like Mike
really?
sent Mike one time. He just
Backyard wrestling.
we were going at it, and when he hit me, my tooth went through my lip, so I had to get stitches inside and out of my lip, and I completely forgot it. Like all I remember is just waking up in bed, and I was like, "What the heck happened?"
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Didn't even know what happened.
That's crazy.
Then me and my younger brother George, man, me and him, we were so much alike, and that we just fought a lot. So he liked pulling pranks on me that would just get it out of me, and I did the same to him. I did the things that made him most mad because we just knew, like, we were the type of dude like, "Oh, that's the red button that makes you mad."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like 100 times, Yeah. And it's like, stop, Mar. And nah, I'm not going to stop. Not until I get the reaction I want. You know what I mean? And so.
You don't change, man.
Sorry for tapping on
move
that.
my button over here.
No, Mars a
And
sweetheart.
I mean, there was times where I remember one time, brother was shooting me with a water gun, and I was asleep on the couch. And I got up and I was like, "What the?" Nothing. And I literally saw nothing. And I was like, "Bro, I am tripping." So I go back to bed. He shoots me again. And I get up faster and I'm like, nothing. I'm like, dude, what am I imagining? Because like the water would kind of go away real fast. And I'd be like, and I'd be looking on the ceiling, like, what's good? And he should have left it at that. But he did it a third time and he didn't duck down fast enough. Your boy got up and I grabbed the chain nearest me.
Oh my God.
And I chased him all the way to the room and he just ran into the room and all he could do, he couldn't go nowhere else. I just kicked the door open. He just crouched down with his back exposed and I just lashed him 4 times. I cut his back open with that chain, bro. I did not care. we gon' yep. You gonna risk it? For sure.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
Yeah, your boy was not happy.
Wow.
I'm just saying, you're gonna mess with a lion, bro. You're gonna,
Yeah.
You're gonna get the chains.
And he knew very well. Like he knew. And I've definitely, me and him especially, way more than my older brother. We've definitely gotten to fights, but
Yeah.
me and my younger one, we just way more fights. There's times where Mike had to pull me off of him or punch me off of him because I'm choking him out. Yeah.
He's blue.
But
No, he hasn't tapped out yet.
He's on the way. Give me the chain.
yeah.
Mar, you're
but, I
wild,
love my
dog.
brothers, man, and I definitely give.
But
my
that
life to either
shaped
one
you
of
guys
them.
to like,
Yeah.
do you guys now look back and like, oh, that
Yeah.
was, it wasn't fun at that time. You think about like
Yeah.
What were we thinking?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Does your back store hurt? You know what I mean?
Right.
Things like that. Like, now I got scoliosis now, fool.
I mean, we did so many things. I mean, and fun things too. And some things I can't even tell you the story on camera, but off camera we'll talk. But yeah, some funny stuff that we have as memories forever, and we still make each other laugh about it. We still talk about it. Hey, Mar, you remember like why? Yeah,
That's nuts.
Yeah, no, that's so crazy because like when we met Mar, you know, the very first thing we said, I'm like, man, this guy's a teddy bear, man.
Exactly what I
just love
thought.
the way he shakes my hand, how he hugs me, you know, how he
I know that.
approaches me. It's a little teddy bear, man. He's a sweetheart, you know. Look at him.
Yeah.
You know?
And then deep down,
then-
deep down, man.
No,
but that's what shaped him. You know?
get better
Like,
deep down now.
Got it.
I took care of all those issues that plagued me,
And
as
that
a
shaped
kid.
you to be the man you are now.
For sure.
And that's why you don't see your kids
I fought hard
with
to
chains
get rid of
hitting.
that. Mm.
You don't see, one of your boys.
Yeah,
the other
yeah,
boy with a
exactly.
chain. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
My boys have never. I mean, the extent of their arguments has been like, "Stop, leave me alone."
Got it.
That's literally. They have never once fist fought
They're close.
or even come close to it.
Yeah.
Those boys love each other.
cool.
I can
period.
tell. I can tell.
So
So see, you doing that when you're younger, you learned that shape to be the father you are now. Then you pass that down to your own kids,
Yeah.
and you're not gonna see that in your own kids.
yeah,
'Cause on top of that, your kids are gonna respect you because they know what you're capable of doing.
yeah,
So, win-win.
yeah.
you.
Exactly.
Have you told your kids all these stories?
They know some of them. I mean, they know because we've talked about. I have definitely told them a lot of the stuff that I did, and because I wanted to point out that being angry like that is not okay.
Yeah.
Having that kind of rage is just not. It's not good. There was a problem, and I needed to address it and fix it at a younger age, but it didn't. So it took a long time to get over that and fight. A lot of fighting and praying and mentors and people stepping in to help me and of course my wife leading the way over everybody and Jesus and no question, but I also had to want it, not
sure.
not
Yeah,
to be like that
absolutely.
too, right?
Because you can still be the same way you were.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
But
I
you
hate
wanted
that.
to
I
change.
honestly hate that thought of being that way.
Yeah.
Like I do everything that just getting to the point of anger is the thing I like. I just try to fight that
Good.
so much. I don't want to go there anymore.
If you don't mind me asking, like at what point in your life did you say like, all right, this is enough? Like my rage, my anger has gotten the best of me.
Yeah. When it started affecting my marriage. Right. And that's what it really, because like I said, those things didn't get addressed early enough. And so I carried that in and although I can say without a shadow of a doubt, I have never physically harmed my wife, nor have I even in 23 years of marriage, I've never cussed her out to her face. Never ever. And I just haven't. And I mean, you can say what you want. I closed the door and I was Mr. Tough Guy behind the door, like whatever, right? But I never did it to her face, just because I knew I didn't, no matter how upset I was, I didn't want to be that person because I had examples in my history that showed me to never be that man. So no matter what, I wasn't going to go there. And but even though I never had those types of reactions towards her, the anger was still an issue because it wouldn't allow us to communicate, right?
Yeah.
So I needed to address that. So now we can communicate. She doesn't have to walk on eggshells to tell me something,
So how do you continue to hold yourself back?
Yeah. So I stay, number one, I keep in mind that I don't want to be the man. Cause the one thing I was afraid of, and this was a lot of my friends, closer friends and family were like, something that I would hear often was like, oh, don't make Mar mad because he just blows up. And I secretly, at first I wore that as a moniker of pride. But then I actually, over the years when I matured and I grew, I was like, bro, I hate that. I hate that people recognize or think that this guy's going to be. Now, I will be the guy. I want to be recognized as the guy who's going to go to bat for you and be there for you. Yeah. Like you can call Mark because he's going to come through. But but I didn't want them to have that memory or that thought that, just be careful what you say or what you do around this guy because you can blow up at any moment. And that hurt me because I was just like, no, I have to change the way my people around me in my circle think of me. And the way to do that is if I stay in self-control, if I use and take opportunities that when I feel like anger is coming up, Mar, stop. And tell myself to stop and then conquer it. And then, because then I have that as evidence, like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Like I could have gotten angry here, but I'm not going to.
That's good.
You know, because I also feel like when you're that, you give control to that thing or that person who's making you angry. And I don't want to give control. I want to give control to God. And that's it.
Yeah,
you know, and
that's good, man.
I think it's good that you were able to acknowledge all that and like actually want to change the way you were. Because there's a lot of people who don't, and they stay the same way and they use that as an excuse, like, oh, that's just how I've always been.
Yeah.
That's just how
I've
I
heard
grew
that
up.
so many
It's
times,
how I've always
That's
been.
so
I'm not
true.
going to change.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And so for you to acknowledge, like, nah, like, why would I be that person? Why would I have people be scared of me to even say hi or confront me about something? You know what I mean?
And to me, I feel like when you get older and you actually try to mature, you realize that it's more than just at a personal level. You know, like everything that you were doing, right, growing up, you did it just because at that time, like, you felt good inside of you. Like, oh, this is fun. This is cool. Like, it's not going to affect anybody else. You're just thinking about yourself at that moment, right? And then you start to mature, and then, you know, you have kids, you have a wife, and you have kids, right? And then you start kind of broadening and getting out of that circle. Like, okay, I'm not just thinking about myself. I got to think about the people in my family now, right? And for me, because, you know, like, you guys share these crazy stories, and honestly, I can't really relate to it much because I only got spanked that one time when I did the wrestling move, and that was it. In my household, like, my parents would talk to me and really instill the value of respect, you know. So never once did I ever confront my mom or disrespected her in any way. And then, like, I see that now, and I'm like, man, you know, like, people can learn without not necessarily having to put their hand on the stove. You know, like, there's different ways of learning. Obviously, yes, some people tend to be on the far side, you know, where they learn by making the mistakes and getting whooped, you know, and hopefully not repeating the same mistake. But, you know, you were young and you just kept repeating the same mistake. And, you know, just continue to be getting whooped. But, you know, I feel like there's just different levels of learning. And to me, like, my mom would just talk to me and actually take time to explain, like, okay, this is not why we do this. And then boom, I just, you know, wouldn't do it. But that was, you know, that was me. I was just a chill kid, you know. But then, like I said, you know, you grow up, and in my teenage years, yes, I did grow, you know, some anger inside of me for just circumstances that were outside of my control. But, you know, I was able to overcome that. But
and I agree with that, because I think now that we're older and we have kids and stuff like that, like, I go the let's talk it out route. Because I wish I had that talk it out route. Sometimes, you know? I think what happened was supposed to happen, so I can learn the hard way, because, you know, I was stubborn and hard-headed or whatever the case was. But it's like, now it's like, no, I'm not going to get, like, physical with my kids. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, have I spanked my kids a couple of times? Maybe. Yes or no, I can't confirm that. Because nowadays, you know what I mean?
Right.
You can't even, you know, yell at your kid or anything. But I go towards the talk, like, hey, like, why are you mad? Tell me why you're mad. Let's talk it out. You know what I mean, let's fix it. Do you know why I'm upset? And then, you know, because I've gone to realize too, like, I mean, also getting physical doesn't really help, because you just make them more scared of you. Like, who wants to be scared of their parent? You know what I mean? Like, that's not a healthy relationship to have with your child. And so I'm definitely going that route, you know what I mean? Because that's not what I want for myself, but it's what I got. But I mean, I learned to change. I learned to, you know, humble myself to my parents. I learned to humble myself to every situation that I've had ever since, and hopefully pass that down to my kids, you know, and this new way of thinking that I have, you know, not the old way that I used to have. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, obviously, I've been through a lot. We've all been through a lot, right? And we don't want our kids to go through that same thing. You know what I mean? Like for me, like childhood memory that I have is I'm at the food bank waiting to get boxes of food with my mom, and then a car drives by and it's like friends from school, and they like look at me, and like to me that was like, oh, the embarrassment. Like that memory hits me, and I'm like, no, like I'm gonna do everything I can to like not put my family in a situation.
Yeah.
Like that. Now, you know, I mean, like my kids, like it's not that I don't want them to, you know, be spoiled or anything like that, but it's like I want to show them, you know, values and hard work and stuff like that. So, you know, be humble when they have it and when they don't.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it can be tough, you know, and I thank the Lord that we're not in situations like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But people who are in that, you know, I encourage them to just, you know, keep going. You know, and
Yeah. One thing that I did learn, like, I like to ask, especially like the elders, what would do differently, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's finances or their relationship with their spouses or their kids. And I remember having the conversation with my dad, you know, asking him, what would he have done differently, you know? Because, I mean, I think as parents, we hold a lot of regret sometimes on things that we've done that we're like, dang, I wish I didn't do that.
yeah.
And I remember asking him, and, you know, he did regret certain things. But one thing that stuck to me was being like, you know, being patient and like having more communication. And I remember when Alina was born, I was like really tough. I was on her. But as she got older, I had done something that it made me remember how it was being her age. And always the answer when you asked why, and they said, because I said so. No explanation behind it. You know, it's just because I said so. And I remember I'm like, dang, like I sat there and I was like, how does she feel? Like, does she feel the same way or that I felt? You know, where I was like, man, because you said so. Okay, that means I'm still going to do it. You know, because there was no reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
And then like when I had to change that, where I was like, all right, kid, like this is the reason why, you know, and I wouldn't let her like debate me, but I would be like, what's your idea of this? You know? And I would sit there and try to explain it to her as best as possible, because I'm like, you need to make your own mistakes. Don't make the same mistakes I made. Make your own. I went this route. You want to do the same thing? Just do a different route. Because it didn't work the way I did it, you know? So do it a different way. If you want to do the same thing, just do it differently, you know, because we're supposed to learn from our elders, you know? They're supposed to be better than us. Just like our parents, we're supposed to be better than our parents. Our kids are supposed to be better than us, you know? But how are they going to be better than us if we keep doing the same thing to our kids that our parents did to us? You know? And so, I mean, I always tell her, like, you're going to be better than me. You're going to have opportunities. My parents did everything they could to provide everything they had. And so I'm going to do the same thing. But because I had a little step better than my parents, I'm going to give you the best I could. You know? And so for her kids, she's going to give them even better. You know? I'm like, if you're at my level, I didn't do my job. You know? You're supposed to be better than me. And you're going to be better than me. You know? And to this day, man, I remind her, you're a senior. You're doing this better than I did. You know, reminding her you're on track. You know, you're gonna be better than me. You're already better than me. You know, and so the communication is very, very important.
Absolutely.
And it starts at a very young age, explaining, and for them to understand this is why you don't do things, not just because I said so, but because this is why. You know, and they make their own decision when I'm not there. When she has to make these hard decisions when I'm not there, she knows what direction to go. You know, and that's about, you know, like growing up, you know, teaching them, you know, and sometimes it's a little hard love, but, you know, just as long as it's a little different than the way we grew up.
Show them that you appreciate them. That way they don't put you in a nursing home when you get older.
Oh,
Know what I mean? I want my kids to know I love you. I did everything I could for you and more.
yeah. I'm taking it with me. I'm telling you right now.
And you know, you saying like, I because I told you so, I feel like that doesn't leave room for you to reflect on consequences, you know, like I told you so, like, okay, I'm gonna just do it. And then you go and do it. Right. And then something bad happens, but then you think like, oh, maybe that's just what it was supposed to happen because it was never like necessarily explained to you, you know? So you didn't necessarily deal with your consequences like healthy,
Yeah.
you know, and maturely. And then that's why, you know, you just have a lot of pain, and, you know, you grow up and you make the same mistakes because as a child, you know, like you're an adult doing the same mistakes as a child. Like some people don't grow up from that, because those consequences, like, it happened, but it wasn't like explained, because their whole life was, you know, like, I told you so, I told you so.
Right.
That's funny because I laughed right now because I think back to sometimes I can be a little bit too descriptive to my kids, and so my daughter's like, "Why can I do this?" Oh, because if you do that, then you're gonna slash your head open and you have to go to the hospital. I do that. I was like, scare them. Yeah. Oh yeah, I don't want to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
I'm gonna slash my head open, but that's not gonna happen. But it's like, you know, it might.
Yeah, just scare them.
If you do it hard enough.
You're giving her the worst case scenario.
Exactly. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like
because there's potential, and if
there
there's
is
potential, then that means
it could happen. Exactly. So I always do that. Like, hey, if you do that, you're gonna break your leg.
I just wanted a lollipop.
Because if you have a lollipop, you're gonna run and you're gonna fall, and it's gonna poke your eye.
Right.
Hospital.
Yeah. Right.
You know, everything hospital.
And I love what you were saying too, Jay. And I think that thing about parenting, when you're speaking to your kids, I too have never really spanked the boys ever. Now I've smacked their hands. I'm not against parents correcting and or physically putting hands on their kid if they earn it.
Right.
Yeah.
Because my boys know that that's not my way of disciplining them. But they also know if they cross that line, they're going to disrespect their mom. Guess what you're getting out of me, bro?
Yeah.
And so
Going through that wall.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, exactly. We have to put up new sheetrock. For sure. And so they also understand that.
Yeah.
They understand that dad is not going to spank me, but I also am not going to be disrespectful to him or to mom, right?
Yeah.
And so I do feel like when you say things like that, well, because I said so, sure, you can say that, but it also separates it. It creates a space between you and your child in your relationship,
Right.
a gap in that relationship that, you know, it's just where the parent comes from the point of you're always right, and they're always wrong. And that creates something in the kid that they can't just relate to you, you know? And so you always have to present it to the one like you made that mistake. This is what happened to me. This is why I didn't achieve some of the things that I wanted to. And now you need to make a different mistake. Go down, like you said, go down another path. Don't do that one because that one don't work. I can guarantee you that one don't work, like you said, perfectly.
Absolutely.
And so I think it's so important to explain to the kids why. If you're correcting them, tell them why. Or if they're making mistakes, let them know where that could lead.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. Yep. Childhood shapes us to be who we are, and we just pass that down to our generation, to the next generation.
Yeah.
That's it. One thing I do want to remind the people out there is we don't condone violence. This podcast, we were young, we were dumb, and
For sure.
we had access to sharp things. So don't run with scissors.
And don't throw them
play
at your
with
siblings.
Don't play with matches. And the one thing you don't want to do is throw a rock in the air and look for it. Okay? It's going to fall in your eye. Okay?
But you'll have a great memory to tell your friends.
Yeah, they'll be like, how'd you get that eye patch, Dad? Oh, yeah, when I was a kid.
That's why I'm a Raider fan.
Oh, nice. Alley-oop right there.
Hey.